Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to quickly run through the resources that really helped me as I was studying and preparing for my MCAT. So let's get started. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the books. So I used the Kaplan books. I thought they were really nicely organized. They have lots of really good acronyms and great diagrams that help me understand things. And so yeah, overall I would say I was very pleased with the Kaplan. I thought they summed up information well, and for the most part, wasn't overloaded with information or anything, so I would definitely be happy to recommend the Kaplan books. I've also heard some things about Princeton Review and the Berkeley Review, and I know these are also some pretty popular options. I think generally, for the most part, they're going to include most of the same stuff. It's just about picking one and sticking with them, really. Moving on to a really important factor in preparation, that's the question banks and the section banks. So over here I included both the AAMC question banks and the section banks. I think both of these are essential. I really don't think you're really prepared for your MCAT until you finish these. And like I have listed here, question banks are a good way to test your knowledge. After content review is when I would really start doing these. And the section banks are a really good way to practice exam style questions. The section banks are known for being a bit more difficult, so it's a really good test of your knowledge and ability, and it's a really good practice. Also, I would really recommend getting UWorld access for MCAT prep. It has a bunch of questions. They're very tough for the most part, and it's really good preparation. And sometimes it could feel like they're too tough, but in reality, it's just kind of a perfect situation because they're kind of teaching you to expect the worst, but you're also learning plenty of things on the way, and their explanations are super detailed. And for me, like I have written below, I think it's the gold standard for question banks. I really think it's one of those resources that can boost your score up by a lot of points if used well. Next, practice tests. So I started with Blueprint, which back in the day was known as Next Up. Based on my experience, I would say Blueprint has maybe the most accurate. They've got a 6 practice exam bundle for $149, which is, to me, a really good price. And if you do want more practice, you could go for the 10 exam bundle. And I think if you're starting with practice exams early, that's a really good option. They do have a question bank, but I would avoid that one. It's not very good. UWorld is much better. And of course, we have the AAMC full lengths. And the way AAMC does it is they have a sample one, and then they also have 4 full lengths, so FL1 through FL4. And of course, these are the most accurate because they're made by the actual company that makes the MCAT. And so I would definitely be sure to purchase all 4 of the full length MCATs. I really wouldn't recommend taking your MCAT before completing all of these. And I would also say you should probably be doing these. Maybe you would want to do your last 2, at least in the last 2 or 3 weeks before your test, because that'll give you a really good idea of where you're sitting at that time. So moving on to flashcards, and if you're a pre-med, you know how important Anki decks are. And the ones that I saw on the pre-med subreddit, I was most impressed with Mile Downs. Really felt like the best way for me to learn. It really helped me not only learn new info, but retain it. And that deck has cards on all of the subjects, so I tried to do those daily, and I would definitely recommend doing that because it helps you remember a lot of the information you need to know. And there's a few other options as well. I would recommend looking through them, seeing what appeals to you the most and what you think you'll be able to be the most consistent with. For me, the best resource for Psych and Soc is undoubtedly the Khan Academy 100-page document. I really think this is essential. Whenever someone tells me they're studying for the MCAT, I quickly recommend this document. It's just a 100-page document of information from Khan Academy videos compiled, and it really is a great resource. And they do have a 300-page document, which I found a lot of people tend to gravitate to, but I think the 100-page document is more than enough. And I would also supplement the 100-page document with the Anki deck of your choice. So find one of those Anki decks on the subreddit, the MCAT subreddit that you like, and then use those together, and you've set yourself up very nicely for Psych Soc. For cars practice, I have a couple different recommendations, some resources that worked for me. The first one, not really a resource, but I would begin reading news articles daily, even if it's for 10 minutes or so. Just learn to read kind of dense paragraphs and be able to pick out the main points from them. It's a really good tool to have, and it's going to benefit you a lot as when you take the CARS section. Of course, the CARS question bank, these are questions from old MCAT exams, so really good practice. And Jack Weston, it's not the most representative of questions in the MCAT, but I think it's a really good warm-up, and you could do them daily. They have questions of the day, or like passages of the day, so definitely doesn't hurt. So I would consider doing those as well. If not daily, then just like every few days. Last things, just to recommend, another recommendation from Mile Down on the MCAT subreddit. He made these review sheets that are kind of based like the Kaplan quick sheets, but they're a lot more detailed and organized. There's like a table of contents as well. That was really beneficial to me. I always checked it whenever I needed to know something really quickly. Here, I wrote YouTube is your friend. Might not be able to find absolutely everything, but for the vast majority of stuff that we study for on the MCAT, you will find a good chunk of it on YouTube, and hopefully you'll find someone who can explain it in an effective way to you. I really hope these resources will give you guys an idea of how to prepare for the MCAT. And if I could be of help in any way as you prepare for your test, please just let me know. Thank you.